on call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lalitangi Mataji. I would like to hand over the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. So thank you for this opportunity to glorify His grace, Srinivas. Yeah, as we have been hearing from many devotees, Prabhu had led a glorious life filled with devotional service and culminating in a glorious passing away on the most auspicious days of the year. So Prabhu was born here around this temple. The deity of the temple is known as Partha Sarathi. And at least I think this temple must be around 3,000 years old or even more. The deity has been sung by, glorified by most of the Alvars, the saints of Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. And we can see that in the Sanctum Sanctorium, we see Lord Krishna as Parthasarathi with Rukmini Devi, with his lotus feet visible. The deity is around, I think, I'm not exactly sure, but definitely around 7 or 8 feet tall. And we have the whole family of Krishna. There is Krishna's son Pradyumna and Aniruddha and all of them. And we have the Utsava Vigraha also. So it's a very, very famous temple just located at the seashore. And Prabhu's parents have been living in the place that is, it's called Agraharam. That means that those streets just around the temple, they are occupied by sevaks who have been worshipping the Lord for many generations, mostly priests. So, and his name was, the given name was Sri Vatsan, which also means the glorious resting place of Mother Lakshmi. And his second name, his father's name was Parthasarathi. So we have seen that he was having taken birth in a very devotional family. He grew up around this temple, and it's a must to visit this temple for those families and for the children who are growing up in the families. I have known that every day they visit the temple, or at least twice or thrice in a week. Every day there is a utsava in this temple. Every day, 365 days, there is something going on here. And there are 5 main deities, so 5 Rathayatras take place in a year. So much of service and chanting and always going on. So, I mean, Prabhu has grown up hearing the holy names, which is his own name, Srivatsan and Parthasarathi. We can imagine how much glorious is his birth, and how much he has pleased the Lord for having such a glorious birth. He was just taking off from where he left in the previous life, and having taken shelter of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He was so dedicated to serving Guru Maharaj and encouraging devotees, always being in the backside. And even on his birthday, when he came for Zoom visit to get blessings from His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, so he was asking that please let me serve, let me be able to serve my Guru Maharaj, Vaishnavas and the deities. So that was always his the thing that was going on in his mind very naturally. And we can see that how he has been very patient with bringing up Mataji's, giving her own time to explore and accept Krishna consciousness, and letting her do all the services, the classes, and being behind in the background, helping her so much. So that's a glorious Vaishnava quality. I don't have any personal interaction with him, but yeah, a few times we had 1 or 2 times when he came for um, we had this birthday wishing sessions, and he had come, and we would try to pull him and say that please come to give some classes in Bhakti Sangha or kids classes, and he would shy and run away. And I can see that how his consciousness is always fixed in serving the deity of Gopal. And sometimes Mataji and myself discussing about the classes and making slides. It would go on for maybe 30-45 minutes, and I have heard Prabhu come and remind her that you have to give rest to Gopal. It's time for Boga offering and things like that. Yeah, so no wonder his life is such a glorious life, filled with hearing the holy names of the Lord, glorifying the Lord, glorifying Vaishnavas. And he's left us with us his memories of how a Vaishnava should lead his life. Not that all pure devotees are I mean coming to limelight and we know of them. There may be very seeming very unassuming, very simple, but then their heart is full of devotion to the Lord, and that is seen also the way he left his body. They say that if the soul is able to leave the body in a moment's time, that itself is a great thing. There are no much karmas and there are no much attachments. And also he has left in front of Gopal just after serving him and holding the paraphernalia. So all these things show that his destination is undoubtedly auspicious. And as we say that, Jivane Marane Gati or Nahi Mora. So there is no other shelter for us, whether living or dead, other than the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So I offer prayers to Lord Parthasarathi, Rukmini Devi. He has been their darling child, and having grown up there, and also he has taken the glories of the Lord and lived a life gloriously as a devotee. So, there's no doubt that the Lord, who is the absolute well-wisher, Suhrid, he's a benefactor and well-wisher of everyone. We may not understand his plans and why he did what he did, but rest assured that whatever he does is ultimately auspicious and good for everyone. So I still offer my prayers unto the lotus feet of the Lord, so that Prabhu can take shelter at his lotus feet. I also offer my prayers so that he give enough strength, courage, and protection to Mataji. Of course, Krishna is in everyone's heart, and he's taking care. We don't need to, it's redundant only for us to ask this, but by praying for the devotees and thinking about them and offering our heartfelt prayers, we are getting purified. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mataji, for this opportunity. Also offering prayers unto Prabhu and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very so much for such a wonderful glorification of beautiful soul, Mataji. And thank you so much for giving a darshan of Parthasarathi as well. Thank you so much, Mataji. Let's move on to our next session. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Dr. Soul once again. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Baldev Prabhuji on the talk of Srimad Bhagavatam. Topic, 4th Canto, 30th chapter, verse 19th onwards. Prabhuji, are you present on the call? Dhanavad Pranam Prabhuji, all glories, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very so much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning, Prabhuji, and enlightening us on the topic. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimmirandhasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam 4th Canto, 30th chapter, text number 19. Griheshu avishatam chapi pumsam kushala karmanam madvarta yatayamanam na bandhaya grihamata. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sorry. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his actions. Purport. Generally, a person living in a family becomes overly attached to fruitive activity. In other words, he tries to enjoy the results of his activities. A devotee, however, knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and the supreme proprietor. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Consequently, the devotee does not consider himself the proprietor of any occupation. The devotee always thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a proprietor. Therefore, the results of his business are offered to the Supreme Lord. One who thus lives in the material world with his family and children never becomes affected by the contamination of the material world. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 3.9. Yagyarthat karmano natra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. One who tries to enjoy the results of his activities becomes bound by the results. One who offers the results or profits to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, does not become entangled in the results. This is the secret of success. Generally, people take sannyas to become free from the reactions of the fruitive activity. One does not receive the results of his action but offers them instead to the Supreme Personality of Godhead certainly remains in a liberated condition. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami confirms this. Iha yasya hare dasye karmana manasa gira nikhila swapi avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. If one engages himself in the service of the Lord through his life, wealth, words, intelligence, and everything he possesses, he always be he will always be liberated in any condition. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta, one who is liberated during this lifetime. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, those who engage in material activities simply become more entangled in material bondage. They have to suffer and enjoy the actions and reactions of all activity. This Krishna consciousness movement is therefore the greatest boon to humanity because it keeps one always engaged in Krishna's service. The devotees think of Krishna, act for Krishna, eat for Krishna, sleep for Krishna, and work for Krishna. Thus, everything is engaged in service of Krishna. A total life in Krishna consciousness saves one from material contamination. As stated by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Krishna bhajane yaha hoy anukul, Vishaya baliya tyage taha hoy bhool. If one is so expert that he can engage everything or detail everything in service of the Lord, to give up the material world would be a great blunder. One should learn how to detail everything in the service of the Lord, for everything is connected to Krishna. That is the real purpose of life and secret of success. As reiterated later in the third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita 3.19, Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. The third chapter of Bhagavad Gita specifically considers material activities for the purpose of sense gratification and material activities for the purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. The conclusion is that these are not one and the same. Material activities for sense gratification are the cause of material bondage, whereas the very same activities for the satisfaction of Krishna are the cause of liberation. How the same activity can be the cause of bondage and liberation can be explained as follows. One may get indigestion due to eating too many milk preparations, condensed milk, sweet rice, and so on. But even though there is indigestion or diarrhea, another milk preparation, yogurt, mixed with black pepper and salt, will immediately cure these maladies. In other words, one milk preparation can cause indigestion and diarrhea, and another milk preparation can cure them. If one is placed in material opulence due to the special mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, he should not consider that opulence a cause for bondage. When a mature devotee is blessed with material opulence, he does not become affected adversely, for he knows how to employ material opulence in service of the Lord. There are many such examples in the history of the world. There were kings like Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Janaka, Dhruva, Vaivaswat Manu, and Maharaj Ikshvaku. All of these were great kings and were especially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If a devotee is not mature, the Supreme Lord will take away all his opulence. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead states, Yasyaham anugranami harishe tadhanam shanahim. My first mercy shown to my devotees to take away all his material opulence. Material opulence detrimental to devotional service is taken away by Supreme Lord, whereas a person who is mature in devotional service is given all material facilities. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this beautiful section from the Bhagavatam, and we are seeing this fourth canto mentions about the life of Prachetas. In fact, just before this verse has come, the previous verses mentions about how the Supreme Personality of Godhead was very much pleased by the friendship of this sons of Prachini Barisha, the Prachetas. They had performed their sadhana bhakti, their Krishna consciousness together. It's a very, very difficult challenge to practice Krishna consciousness together in association of devotees. It may be an easy thing for some years, but to do on for a long time, it's a challenge. So therefore, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, congratulated Prachetas not just for the tapasya, but actually congratulated them for doing the tapasya together. So that is called as the unity, the power of unity. Even Krishna is pleased with that unity. And in fact, Krishna is so happy. Krishna had benedicted them with lot of material facilities and also benedicted all of us. How Krishna benedicted all of us? Krishna said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, just previous verses, that if someone remembers, just remembers this Prachetas in the evening time, then that devotee will always be able to kind of keep friendship with all living entities and the devotees. He will always in the mood of favoring or serving everyone. Just imagine, just by thinking of Prachetas, Krishna is giving a benediction that we can be better devotee, able to adjust and appreciate other living entities as well as devotees. So this is the life of Prachetas. And now Krishna is coming to the point of where he is also mentioning about material facilities here. Like for example, whenever a material facility is given to a devotee is usually not ready to accept it. Just like in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj began his austerities, he wanted material facilities. But when he became Krishna conscious and Krishna appeared in front of him, the same material facilities he said, I don't want. So this is Krishna consciousness. Initially, in when we arrive in Krishna consciousness, we have a lot of material desires. But by practicing Krishna consciousness, the process itself is so satisfying that eventually our material desires vanquish, go dwindles. They may not be fully overcome, but at least they are much more lesser than what it was before. And eventually we get more satisfaction. In fact, a devotee, even if he has to ask for something material, then he's little repentant or little feeling sad that he has to ask for that. So that is the program of Krishna consciousness. So here Krishna is mentioning to Prachetas that even if material facilities are given to Prachetas, Krishna is saying that he knows very well. He has a lot of faith in them that they're going to use that material facility back in Krishna's service. See, whatever we receive in this material world, it's all from Krishna. What we receive from Krishna, we offer back to Krishna. It's like offering Ganges water back to Ganga. So whatever little offering, little puja, little donations or our body, mind and words, we're offering to Krishna. It's nothing but what Krishna has given us in place before. So therefore, Krishna is asserting very beautifully here that that person or that family man who practices Krishna consciousness very nicely, that family man will never be in a state of bondage. You see, generally in family life, there is a lot of bondage. I was just talking to a few devotees recently, they got married. And they were mentioning that Prabhuji, initially, the girl and the boy was telling me, that Prabhuji, I had a family, so I had my mother, my father, and I had my uncles and aunties and grandmothers and and cousins and all. But now that I am getting married, I see that I am also expanding my own family now, right? Like the wife's family also becomes part of the husband's family. So another set of another family comes in. Same with wife. The girl also said the same thing, that Prabhuji, we are supposed to be detached. Then how is that we're getting married and our family is increasing, more attachments? The nature of this world is like that. Anything we do, it catches us, it binds us. The three modes of material nature are very, very strong and very intricate. They just bind us to everything. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned one time very humorously, that even if you are attached to one gulab jamun, just one gulab jamun, Prabhupada said you have to come back. You can't go to the material spiritual world. You have to come back to material world and enjoy that gulab jamun because you have a desire to enjoy gulab jamun. This is how strong attachments are in this material world. So therefore, to overcome this attachment is beyond us. We just cannot do it. So what is the way out? Right? How the bondages happen? The bondages happen because the bondage is part of Krishna's illusory energy, which we have accepted very heartily. Right? But to come out of it, we have to go to Krishna again, the formula. The formula Krishna gives is Krishna consciousness. So whether we are a householder or a brahmachari, a sannyasi, or a vanaprastha, if we worship Krishna with all our hearts, then we can come out of this bondage. And that is the sum and substance of today's verse, wherein this beautiful verse, such a long purport, Srila Prabhupada drives in, that anyone who is in Krishna conscious family life will never be in bondage. And Prabhupada gives such brilliant examples, quotations from Bhagavad Gita, from Srila Rupa Goswami, from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, again from the Gita. And Prabhupada gives example of the milk preparation. Milk will cause diarrhea, indigestion, but milk transformed to curd becomes a cause of holding on the indigestion. So this is a sum and substance of this verse where family life in Krishna consciousness is glorified by Srila Prabhupada, which is in turn extolled by Lord Sri Krishna to Prachetas who are now going to enter Grihastha ashram. Lord Krishna has told them to marry uh, the daughter of Kandu and Pramalocha. And now, before they enter into Grihastha ashram, Krishna is giving them the training of how to be a good Grihastha. So, we are very fortunate in this Krishna consciousness movement. We have a society of so many devotees, right? And everywhere we find very beautiful role models of devotees in different ashrams. So we have sannyasis in our movement who are a great role model of vairagis. We have brahmacharis in our movement who are a great role model for brahmachari life. We have devotees who are retiring, the vanaprasthis, who are real role model for what we should do in the future. And we have as well the role models for how to lead a Krishna conscious family life. In fact, if you refer to our Shastra and our Parampara, in our Parampara, we have role models of devotees in different ashrams. I was reading to one, I was hearing a lecture wherein the devotee was mentioning very beautifully that if you want role model, we have role model amongst our acharyas. Like, for example, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur showed everyone the role model of how to be a good grihastha. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he primarily showed us the role model of how to be a good brahmachari and a good sannyasi. And then our Srila Prabhupada, his whole Lilamrit focuses of how Srila Prabhupada graduated from Vanaprastha to sannyas. He's a role model of how slowly Srila Prabhupada gave all his 10% energy in Krishna's service. So we have in our parampara itself so many examples of different ashramas. So we find in our uh, whole Gaudiya Sampradaya, maximum of our acharyas were in family life. Very few devotees were in renounced order of life. For example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Navadip, everyone was a grasta. When he took sannyas and he was in Jagannath Puri, even in Jagannath Puri, he had association of two uh, very important close associate. One was a sannyasi, Swarup Damodar Goswami, another was a Grihastha, Ramananda Rai. Very close association. And apart from the whole entourage of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, maximum devotees were Grihasthas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always encourage devotees to practice good principles of Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was once traveling on a tour of South India, and the first place ever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went after leaving the borders of Odisha was he came to Kurmakshetra. And in Kurmakshetra, he took the beautiful darshan of Lord Kurma, Lord as tortoise, and then he, one Brahmana, Kurma Brahmana, met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house. Mahaprabhu would never go to anyone's house, Prasadam. He would just ask for some alms and he would eat that. Now, he had an assistant, Kala Krishna Das, with him. But this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the offer from this Kuru Brahman because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew his heart very well. And then he took prasadam there. And this Kuru Brahman was fascinated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving, he said, I want to leave everything and join you. And Mahaprabhu said, don't be a false renunciant. Better you stay in the house. And then the famous verse, which we all know, Yare dekhe tare kahe Krishna upadesh, Amar agya Guru Vaya tara Hindesh, was spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kurma Kshetra to a family person, family man, Kurma Brahmana, telling him, you don't have to leave anything. Just be there. And wherever you are practicing your own codes of dharma, you preach Krishna consciousness in whatever capacity you are. Yare dekhe tare kahe. Wherever you go around, wherever you see someone, you share Krishna consciousness as much as possible. And then in this way, you become a guru and guide others. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has showed us the principle of how to use everything in Krishna's service. So Krishna consciousness is not about giving up something. Krishna consciousness is rather adding up something. What is adding up? We add Krishna in our life. And when we add Krishna in our life, automatically all that is nonsense, all that is not required, that is automatically deleted, right? Like we all remember when we became devotees, the initial stage of our bhakti, we were all encouraged to take prasadam and chant Hare Krishna and come in the program. That's it. We were never told, you should follow four principles, give up this, give up that, give up tea, coffee. Why? Because everyone knew if you tell a new person all these principles, they will get bogged down and they may leave, they may not come. So initially we liked the association of devotees, we liked prasadam, then we took up chanting, and eventually what happened? We give up everything. No one will tell us, oh, okay, we give up this. And in fact, many of us were attached to so many things which are not mentionable now in the Bhagavatam class. But when we gave up, we were not like crying. And we have seen many people when they have to give up something, they cry a lot. But we never cried for those things which we gave up. Why? Because that is the potency of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness primarily means to accept Krishna in our life. And when Krishna enters our life, everything nonsense, everything not required gets automatically detached or deleted from our life. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to Jagannath Puri and he was taken in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the guru of the king of Puri that time. He was the main person who would be supervising all the puja, worship, and guiding the king. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was such a big person, but he was an impersonalist that time. So there happened a discussion. In a discussion, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was trying to teach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the Vedanta Sutra. Mahaprabhu heard patiently, and later Mahaprabhu spoke something by which Sarvam Bhattacharya got transformed. From an impersonalist, he became a great devotee. So now Sarvam Bhattacharya was devotee for few months in Jagannath Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had made him devotee. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go on a South India tour. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to take permission from devotees. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the highest devotee there, right? Because he was sannyasi, he was supreme lord, staying in Jagannath Puri, everyone worshipped him. Now whose permission Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set an example. I should ask devotees' permission. So he went to all devotees, and he also went to Ramananda Rai. Also he went, and sorry, not Ramananda. He also went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport very beautifully that generally it is a system that um, that grahastha takes blessings of a sannyasi, right? We always see that we all offer obeisance to when sannyasi or Maharaj comes. Have you ever seen a Maharaj offering Dandavat Pranam and blessings of grahastha? You feel what happened? Why is happening? Confusion will be created if like that happens. But here was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was taking blessings and asking for permission of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport so beautifully. Prabhupada says, this Krishna consciousness movement is, I'm just paraphrasing the whole thing, the Krishna consciousness movement has been developed to create first class brahmacharis, sannyasis, and grahasthas. And Prabhupada mentions the grahasthas become so powerful in Krishna consciousness that grahasthas in Krishna consciousness are potent enough to even bless a sannyasi also. That's what Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport there. So we see in a Krishna consciousness movement, the ashram is not a barrier. The ashram is just a categorization of different devotees, right? Like for example, there is categorization of devotees. Like for example, if you go to a very crowded place, let's say a temple or something like that during festival, previous times, nowadays we are not going much, but previous times we go and got a big festival happening, then the in charge devotees would categorize or divide the line into four. There will be four prasadam counters. So you'll be one, maybe you or someone else behind you, second counter, third counter. So there is category division. Division is not for doing some difference in the attitude. It's not all the four counters are having the same prasadam. It is just for efficiency, facility wise. So the ashram is created in that way to categorize people. But the main service in each of these ashram is to practice Krishna consciousness. I remember once many years back, uh, the Udupi Krishna temple, uh, the main in charge of Udupi Krishna temple, Pejavar Swami, very good exalted devotee. Just recently he left his body at the age of 90. So Pejavar Maharaj came and he gave a very beautiful example. He said that the if you see a pond or a sarovar, a kunda, huge kunda sarovar, that pond has lot of fishes in it. So pond is there and fish is there. The pond is kept clean because of the fishes. The fishes eat all the dirt in the pond. That's their food. So because the fish is there, the pond is clean. But because the pond is there, because of that fish is there. So it's a relationship of give and take. Then he was mentioning this beautiful point. This whole talao refers to grahastha devotees. And inside there, the fishes represents the renounced order, brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and grahastha, and brahmachari, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis. So he mentioned that this talao, which is a huge body, is kept clean. Why? What is the need of keeping it clean? Because by nature, the grahastha have to associate with the material world, so there's a lot of contamination which creeps in. So they come back and they take association of the renounced order of life, hear from them, serve them, and get purified. So the pond gets purified because of the association of the fish, which is like the renounced order of life. But he also mentioned the fish cannot survive without water. The fish are dependent on the same pond which they are purified. Similarly, for example, the brahmachari, vanaprastha, sannyasis, they do not associate with the material world. They are not involved in any economic development, economic earning. So all the brahmacharis, vanaprastha, sannyasis, their subsistence, their workings, everything is funded by the grahasthas. So this is a unique concept of varnashram, which Pejavar Maharaj mentioned. It's a give and take relationship, right, which is existing since time immemorial. In fact, in the Mahabharata, there is a verse which mentions that among all the ashrams, Grahastha ashram is most important of all the ashrams. And the reason is because maximum people in the society, almost like 99.99%, will be all grahastha devotees, staying in communities. And the remaining 0.0001%, whatever it is, will be vanaprastha, sannyasis, and brahmacharis. Therefore, to run the whole society properly, sanely, grahastha ashram devotees are important, and if they are trained in Krishna consciousness, they can lead amazing development in this world where Krishna consciousness will prevail. That is the understanding. And therefore, we find in our whole sampradaya, there is so much of respect given even by a brahmachari or a sannyasi to a family person. We find God Kishore Babaji Maharaj, he was a renunciate, Vairagi, but yet he came every day to meet Bhaktivinoda Thakur was still in a household ashram, and he would take shelter of him. For him, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was his Shiksha Guru. So this is the understanding which Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had actually have trained all of us in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. I was reading Bhagavatam just recently, and if you read Bhagavatam, you will see in many cantos of Bhagavatam that Sukadeva Goswami is only narrating name after name after name of various dynasties. And many times there are just pages after pages of just names of king, their two wives, three wives, one wife, and their children, and again his children, her children. So, can you imagine Shukadeva Goswami, who is Nirmat Sarana, he is actually nothing to do with this material world, completely detached. Yet he is listing all those names of whom? Those who are married. And he is calling one after another all name. And it is not like Shukdev Goswami was referring some notes like I am referring notes to. What was that? No. Shukdev Goswami was remembering their names from his memory. So Shukdev Goswami considered it like a holy thing to even remember names of grahasthas with their wives, their children name, and their grandchildren, their great grandchildren, and among them who was a great devotee and what happened to him. So this is called as that this is understanding that even by hearing the character of great Vaishnavas, no matter which ashram they are in, even a sannyasi feels very purified. So that is the understanding which we get from this beautiful shloka of today. We also have many more examples about great devotees who are in householder life. I will narrate two examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita, very beautiful examples. One is very common example. Everyone knows about Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur's wife was Malini, and both of them they had their beautiful house very close to Yogapeeth, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own house, and Mahaprabhu would go every night there and do Sankirtan. So Srivas Thakur had many brothers, and Srivas Thakur was always immersed in Krishna consciousness. So he had a family, and still he was immersed in Krishna consciousness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard some from devotees that Srivas Thakur is not earning any money, he is not having a job. Please tell him to uh, kind of earn something so he can raise his family. So Mahaprabhu became really concerned. And one day Mahaprabhu asked Srivas Thakur, Srivas, how do you maintain your family life? You are a grahastha. You have a wife, your children. How do you maintain your family life? Srivas Thakur, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all he did, Chaitanya Charitamrita mentioned that he just clapped his hand. One, two, and three. Three times he clapped his hand. So Mahaprabhu smiled. Mahaprabhu said, what is this? Mahaprabhu repeated his question. Srivas Thakur, how do you maintain your household life? So again, one, two, three. Three times he clapped. So Mahaprabhu asked, what is this clapping business? Please tell me. Then Srivas Thakur said, oh Lord, who is the maintainer? Am I the maintainer of my family? No, you are the maintainer. Your Supreme Personality of body, you maintain everyone, you maintain the whole world. Why will not you maintain my family? Actually, you are maintaining my family. So these three things is, he mentions that automatically my family is maintained by your mercy. But someday, if I see that my family is not maintained, all I will do is clap 1, 2, 3. By clapping 1, 2, 3, I will indicate to Krishna that I am waiting for your mercy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then what happened after 1, 2, 3? I have full, I have no doubt. Within that 1, 2, 3 clap, whatever is necessary for our maintenance, Krishna will provide. Whatever is necessary for our maintenance, Krishna will provide. But Shiva said, if I clap 1, 2, 3 and Krishna does not provide, then what will happen is I will drown myself in Ganga. But I know I don't have to because Krishna will provide. So this was the faith of Srivas, such an exalted Grahastha he was, that he knew that he may do a lot of things in his life, but ultimately who is the maintainer? Krishna. Krishna maintains everyone. If Krishna is maintaining the whole world, if Krishna is maintaining all the animals in the forest, they don't go to temple and pray. You don't find elephants or tigers coming there in temple and praying, "Oh Lord, can I get my food?" Srila Prabhupada mentions an elephant eats so much of food, right? It requires sometimes maybe like uh, kilograms and kilograms, kgs of tons of like food. He eats every day, so much. But he gets, you don't find elephant uh, having problem with his hunger. I mean, he doesn't fall sick or he is dying out of no food. Elephant gets a quota, tiger gets a quota, the deers get the quota, the elephant, the fishes in the ocean get the rivers get the quota. So Shivas had that faith that if everyone is automatically maintained, Krishna will also maintain us. So these are the exemplary devotees in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. And how do you understand Srivas Thakur's exemplary nature? Srivas Thakur had invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for doing kirtan in his own house. Mahaprabhu was dancing. All the devotees were very much engrossed in chanting and dancing with Mahaprabhu. And Srivas Thakur's son was very sick that day. So there was another room where Srivas Thakur's son was sick. And they were trying to administer him some medicines, but it was not working. But Srivas Thakur did not give any hint to Mahaprabhu that his son is sick. Meanwhile, when Mahaprabhu is dancing for hours together, in between, Srivas Thakur's son left his body. When Srivas Thakur's son left his body, naturally, the wife of Srivas started crying. Srivas came running and stopped his wife and said, "Don't cry. If you cry, Mahaprabhu's ecstasy will be disturbed. It is not good. It is inauspicious to disturb the ecstasy of Mahaprabhu." And he said, "There is no problem. Our son is so fortunate that he had to die someday. He has died in the presence in such an auspicious time. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in our house. It's all auspicious." So Mahaprabhu kept dancing. Mahaprabhu actually knew, but he did not pretend not to know. After some time, Mahaprabhu said, "I'm not feeling ecstasy. What is the reason?" Then everyone's quiet. Everyone's like, many people knew in the audience what has happened, but they kept quiet. Mahaprabhu said, "What is the reason? Why everyone is quiet?" And immediately someone said, "Mahaprabhu, Shiva's Thakur's son has died." And Mahaprabhu said, "Shivas, why you did not tell me?" Shiva said, "Mahaprabhu, when you are dancing, what is inauspicious in the house? In fact, my son dying is very auspicious. By your mercy, he will get such a beautiful destination." Then Shiva's Thakur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Shiva's Thakur and told him, "Please take me to your son." So then he went to the son who was lying dead. Mahaprabhu woke him up. The dead son came back to life. He offered obeisance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, "Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu, by your arrangement, I had given up my body and I was supposed to go to the next destination. You called me back. What is my service?" Mahaprabhu said, "Continue what you were supposed to do." And this boy prayed, said, "Oh Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, wherever I am, let me be Krishna conscious." And Mahaprabhu said, or Mahaprabhu blessed the child. And the child again fell back and he left his body again. And Mahaprabhu said, your son has died in a very auspicious time. He has gone back home back to God. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hold Srivas Thakur's hand And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu murmured, which Srivas Thakur heard. What did he murmur? He said, Srivas, how will I be able to leave your association? And Srivas Thakur was thinking, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should leave my association? Why is he saying like that? But he did not know. Mahaprabhu was thinking, few days later, I'm going to take sannyas and leave Navadip and go away from this place. How will I ever give up the association of Srivas Thakur? So Mahaprabhu is thinking of association of his Grahastha devotee, Srivas Thakur, because of his exalted nature as a devotee in Krishna consciousness. So this is Srivas Thakur. Now I'll take you to another place where Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions about one more group of devotees who were great exalted Vaishnavas in Grihastha ashram. You go to a village called as name as Kulinagram. This Kulinagram is a village a little far away from Mayapur, often little different directions, so many people they are not gone on yatra to this place. Doesn't come in the Navadvip section. So Kulinagram is that place where great devotee Ramananda Vasu would stay. And his father was Satyaraj Khan, and his father was Gunaraj Khan. So Gunaraj Khan, Satyaraj Khan, the name had come because they were serving under the Mughal government. But the original name of Gunaraj Khan was Maladar Vasu. His son Satyaraj Khan's name was Lakshmanath Vasu. And then his son, who was associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was Ramananda Vasu. So they were all staying in one village, Kulinagram. And every year they would come to Rath Yatra, stay with 3 months with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu once came to the village of Kulinagram. When Mahaprabhu came to the village and saw that how the Grahasthas in this village are living such a perfect Krishna conscious life, Mahaprabhu glorified that village. Mahaprabhu said, in this village, even a dog is dear to me. Can you imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that? It's not flattering. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered that even a dog in that village was dear to him because a dog also was Krishna conscious. Because everyone was so Krishna conscious, the dog also became Krishna conscious. Why? Because the center of their family life was Krishna. And Sri Namacharya Haridas Thakur, he would always select a place which was always Krishna conscious or little away from everyone else. Haridas Thakur came and spent around a week or so and stayed in Kulinagram and did his bhajan. Even today also, if you go, you'll find the bhajan kutir of Namacharya Haridas Thakur in Kulinagram today. Even there is a tea tree also, huge tree, under which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat. And then it is mentioned, he spoke that words that even a dog of Kulinagram is dear to me. So these are some examples of how we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord we find so many examples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu extolling the glories of family life. Srila Prabhupada was once leading a conversation, and Srila Prabhupada very beautifully remarked, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they had no family and they were happy. So everyone thought Prabhupada is saying family life means you'll be unhappy. That was what everyone in the group thought like that. Then Prabhupada continued. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a big family and he was happy. So the devotee got confused. 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, no family, they were happy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, big family and he was happy. Then Srila Prabhupada turned and said, happiness is not because of family or no family. Happiness is because of Krishna consciousness. So whether you have family, whether you don't have family, if you are Krishna conscious within that particular scenario, then you'll be happy. So we can see that in this way, it's very beautifully developed in this whole section of how family life, which in general is a bonding, it's very bondage, a source of bondage in this material world. But the same family life, like the curd helping the indigestion part, the same family life gathered or centered around Krishna becomes a source of liberation, right? The same family life becomes a source of liberation, and the same devotee in a family life can eventually go back home, back to God in this very lifetime without fail. There is no doubt about it. I'll tell you a short thing about how family life works. Recently, now we're all grieving at the loss of our dear Srinivas Jagannath Prabhu. We are all remembering him. I didn't have opportunity to associate with him I mean, even physically associate with him, but over the years, through the devotees in Houston and then devotees in San Jose as well as in Chicago, I've heard about the family. And I also know Mataji is very active in Bhakti Sangha group here. So this one example I want to quote from my own spiritual master. I am coming from basically a family of devotees. My parents are all devotees initiated. So my father became a devotee first, and then introduced me, my mother, and my sister in Krishna consciousness. So one day my spiritual master Radhanath Maharaj came to our house. That time I had not joined the temple. So he came to our house and he had prasadam. So when he came for prasadam, my father was introducing him to all family members. So these were initial days when we were all new in Krishna consciousness, just initiated. So my father said, he's my son. He looked at me and said, so Maharaj knew me very well. Then he said, she's my wife. I knew her also very well. She's my daughter. And then my grandmother also had come. And then my grandmother was also introduced. And my father said to Maharaj, Anath Maharaj, that they're all devotees chanting 16 rounds. And then I intervened and told Maharaj that my father has preached to even my mother's brothers and even to his own sister and their family. So now many devotees are there in the family of my in the connected family as well. So Radha just smiled at my father and he said, "See, you have made your whole family into devotees. Your whole family is devotees." And Maharaj just saw my father and said, "You are perfected. You are blessed." I remember this. This was 23 years back, but still I remember so clearly that this is called Yasya Prasada Bhagavad Prasada. My father may have not done big preaching, gone out and distributed thousands of books, established 100 temples, not like that. The brahmacharis may have done that, the sannyasis may have done that. So many great devotees of disciples of Guru, they are doing so much. But the Guru appreciated a simple activity. What is the activity? That wherever he is trying to make that atmosphere Krishna conscious. He's trying his best. And because of the trying, he's perfecting his life. So Krishna consciousness is not about what you do, big things. Krishna consciousness is actually development of our Krishna consciousness in the heart, right? We may establish big projects, but if we are not Krishna conscious, then what is the use of those big projects? Better we are better we establish the biggest project of our life, and that is Janma Sarthak, perfect our own life. So this is one way we can see that anyone we have, Krishna consciousness at this time. It's not only at this time. We will always find that this kind of good and sad news keep coming. One time I was traveling with this Sadhanath Swami Maharaj in his car, and Maharaj got a phone call. His assistant gave him a phone call. So Maharaj picked a phone call, and Maharaj got a call that Maharaj is one devotee, your disciple, is about to leave his body, his old devotee. Can you kindly speak something in his ears? So Maharaj was preaching to that devotee so that his phone was kept there and Maharaj on the phone, Hare Krishna, don't worry, Krishna is with you. And Maharaj was like, mentioning. And Maharaj kept the phone down. After 10-15 minutes, the phone came that Maharaj, this devotee left his body. That was very sad news. And after 10 minutes, just after 10 minutes, another phone rang in some other part of the world. And very close, the devotee of associate, the disciple of Maharaj said, Maharaj, please bless me. Today we are blessed by a baby boy. After many years, we got a child. Please kindly name the child. So Maharaj named the child on the phone. And then Maharaj kept the phone down and turned around and told all of us, this is material world. Material world, 5 minutes ago, we were mourning. And after 5 minutes, someone is celebrating. Celebration and mourning, this is going on. But at all the times, whether we are mourning or we are celebrating, we should know this material world is temporary. And the only permanent thing in this material world is our Krishna consciousness. So it is not that who is going, it is also who is staying here, who is remained here. We all have to go one day. So while we are here, let's take example of great devotees like our Prabhu, who actually was very dedicated and also very much involved in serving Guru and Vaishnavas. So many devotees have been hearing from the Bhakti Sangha group organizers that they're speaking so much wonderful glories about Prabhuji, and we can see that if someone has got a special place in the heart of so many Vaishnavas all over the world, deserves to be a great devotee. And therefore, when a great devotee passes away, there's no doubt Krishna is always with him. Yes, there is no doubt Krishna is always with him. So the problem is not with the great devotee pastor. The problem is with us. We are still stuck in this material. We have to move out. And we have to take examples of devotees. So we have examples of devotees who are acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And we also need examples of devotees who are close by us, whom we can relate to. Right? There are so many devotees who are very close to us. So when they are leaving, they give an example. See, I was along with you, and now I have left. This is an example how I have left. And this can be a good example for us to also follow. Right? Like if I give example of Haridas Thakur chanting to all of you, then what will happen? You think Haridas Thakur is too high. He's chanting 192 rounds. But if I tell you that how there is one Mataji in our group, she chants every day in the morning without fail, and she chants in this way. So we'll feel that someone amidst us is also practicing Krishna consciousness so nicely. So that person may inspire us more because we can relate to the person at the same level. So in our life, we need examples of acharyas, and we also need examples of great devotees around us. And by this, our Krishna consciousness will continue flourishing and blossoming. And one day, as Krishna mentions in his word, that we will be able to give up all our material bondage and go back home, back to Godhead. So with this, I will end my class, and I wish all prayers and my heartfelt wishes for the whole family and the whole family of Vaishnavas for having such a big loss for the whole community of Vaishnavas. It's very difficult to overcome the loss, but we continue to pray to Lord to give a lot of mercy and blessings to the departed Vaishnava, and also a lot of faith and a lot of hope in us, so we can continue in spiritual life, and we can also follow in the footsteps of departed Vaishnava. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandavad Prabhuji. That was a very wonderful class, and thank you very so much. Devotees, if anybody have any comments or realizations for Prabhuji, please go ahead. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say thank you for such a beautiful class and everything that you shared about the Grahastha ashram. It's such a challenge for those of us who are Grahasthas sometimes, especially in the West, where we are surrounded by so much stimulation and so much enticement for things. And so I am very grateful for your class. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dharmat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for the wonderful class. Prabhu, now like on the aspects of all this, like how agrasta and all of how should be behaving in the ashram. Like I had one query always. I don't know, like if you are acquainted with the Maharashtra, the of Gora Kumbar.
Yeah,
Can you hear me,
yes.
Prabhu?
Little louder, then more clearer. Yeah.
Now can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, I can hear you better.
Yeah, so like when you read the story of Gora Kumbar, like his own son
Yes.
came under his feet. And
Yes,
then too,
yes.
he was so busy in the chanting of the holy names that he did not realize that. Then when you look into
Yes.
this aspect, like I always feel that then how would you be differentiate between the responsibility as a grahastha towards our family, and at the same time with the devotional aspect? Like I do not like I always have that confusion with that, like whether should, if we are totally into devotion, then the like the grasta ashram gets disturbed. And sometimes you happen that okay, you're so much busy into the grasta life that the devotional aspect is losing out. So can you find a balance, or can you explain this, Prabhu, please?
Yes. Now I'll take the example of what you quoted. I'll also explain this example to others. So there's a saint in Maharashtra, just like Tukaram Maharaj is one of the saints in Maharashtra. Similarly, there's one more saint. He was a Grahastha devotee, Gora Kumbhar. Kumbhar means potter. So his business was to make pots. He was not a very rich man. He was a very poor person. But he would sing bhajans of Vitthal, Lord Krishna. So he was so immersed in his bhajans, he would forget where he was. That was the limit of his Krishna consciousness. So one day, while he was, so generally for making pots, first we have to get sand and put water, and then prepare the whole dough, the mud, and then from the mud you make the pots, right, on the pottery wheel. So he would, the natural thing of the kumbhar or potter would be, he would be smashing the whole mud with water with his feet. So one day the wife had gone out somewhere and they had a newborn child. To cut the whole story, sad story short, the child was playing inside the mud. He did not realize he was fully into bhajan, and he smashed his own child in the mud. Later only when the wife came, she realized she was crying piteously, bitterly. And if I am not wrong, Mataji, you can correct me. Lord Vittal was so much moved by the whole thing that he got the son back, right? The child back, right? Haribol?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now in this example, we should know that we're talking about a very great exalted Vaishnavas here. They are not on our level, at least my level, where we are struggling with our attraction to Krishna consciousness right now. So we are struggling maintaining Gora Kumbhar, Sant Tukaram. They were actually in not stage of sadhana bhakti. They were already in prema bhakti, bhava bhakti stage. So for them, it was natural to be not attached to anything. Now, it was not like Tukaram Maharaj was feigning, "Ah, I don't want like that." No. Tukaram Maharaj was like naturally staying with his family and had not be attached to the family. But it's very difficult for us to in this stage. So therefore, those very few examples are not good examples for us to follow. High level duties, right? Like we are told, we should not imitate the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? If we imitate the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, what will happen? We will not advance, we will die. Like Raghunath Das Goswami, he would not eat anything. Once in 3 days, he would take a small leaf cup of buttermilk, and that was enough for him for the next 3 days. Namacharya Haridas Thakur did not eat anything. 22 hours he chanted, and 2 hours he had for his some other things. Sometimes the 2 hours also would go away in chanting. Now, these people, if we start imitating, then what will happen? We will go mad. So therefore, we can't imitate them. So what is the way out? Then we need association. We need to hear from it, right? Like for example, when we hear from Haridas Thakur, we hear from Gora Kumbhar, then we get to know who we are. We need devotees of all levels, the purest devotees, and also devotees with us on our equal level or a little more better in our association, in our community. Why we need? Because we need to go hand in hand with also devotees around us. So why Acharya's examples are given to us? To make us humble. Like for example, if someone is thinking, like for example, if someone is, let's give an example. Let's for example, let we have bought a new car, right? And we buy a new car, and that new car is better than all the cars in the neighborhood. Then certainly there is a pride in the heart. Wow, my car is the best. Up and until you drive the car to a program in a rich man's house who has got like your car, 5 more cars and 10 more better cars. Then when you go with your car inside, what will happen? You'll feel very humbled. Oh, I think I am a very small person. So in front of him, you'll feel humbled. So that is also required. But when you go back home, what happens? Then you have your own car, is better than other car. So our Vaishnava Acharyas mentioned that when we are doing our Krishna consciousness, sometimes we excel in little some things in our Krishna consciousness. Like for example, amidst our community, we will be known as a best cook or best baker. Or someone will say, Prabhu, Mataji, you are a good singer. So in our community, you are a good singer, a good baker, a good cook, a good pujari, right? A good mother, something like that. So there's a tendency of becoming proud. But as soon as you hear a very exalted devotee like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srivas Thakur, then immediately that pride, whatever has come because of staying in community, that you are the best, always told about you're the best speaker, you're the best singer, you're best this. As soon as we hear about someone who's the really best, what kind of devotion he has having, then automatically our pride goes down and we realize we are very small devotees. So we need to know that while we have examples of Gora Kumbhar and Sant Tukaram, we need examples of devotees around us who are better than us. I read a beautiful example where one devotee was mentioning, one devotee was asking his question to his own Guru Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, in a place where I stay, he was supposed to go travel abroad somewhere where there was not much of association of devotees. He said, Guru Maharaj, I'm going to travel abroad. I will not get such devotees whom I am associating in this community. So Maharaj told him, whoever you find a devotee, if that devotee is even one day senior to Krishna consciousness, you take his guidance. So he was confused. Wow, one day senior take guidance. So basically, his Guru Maharaj was trying to build a point that depend on Krishna. If one day someone is Krishna conscious, Krishna, your connection with Krishna is so strong, keep that strong that even that one day senior devotee will be empowered by Krishna to teach you beautiful lessons of Krishna consciousness. So therefore, when we stay in community of devotees, that's the most important thing in our life now. So today, thanks to the age of technology, we did not stay physically in association of community. We can also stay connected even though we are very far away. But anyway, the point is coming together is very important. So we come together in association of devotees, we learn from each other, their better practices. And we learn the best practices and then we emulate in our life. So some devotees you find they are actually very renounced. So when we go and we meet them and talk to them and they share the Krishna consciousness, something inspires us and we immediately take up and make it happening in our own life. So so the balance of how we can be detached and also how we can be also doing our ashram duties can be learned in association of devotees who are similar mindset, who are better experienced householders in Krishna consciousness. And from them, each devotee can teach us so many beautiful lessons. And in this, we can go ahead. In fact, the answer is quite huge. It's like a theology of how to balance our family life along with our responsibilities and also be detached and depend on Krishna. But nonetheless, one thing I can suggest at this time that if you can read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, then this book is very needed book at this time because many grihasthas can get a lot of inspiration from the life of Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who as a householder having 10 children, right, having a government job, and that too during British regime, he was doing his job, practicing Krishna consciousness, and yet was an acharya. So what will happen is that definitely we can't imitate him, but we'll get inspiration from him. And then when we associate with our community devotees, we also can get amazing understanding of how we can be free from the analysis of the bondage which may come in the materialistic association of family members, in a materialistic society of children or cousins that can come in if the Krishna consciousness is not very strong. So we are depending on, we are actually very much dependent on community of devotees. Many years back, I just end this with a small thing. Um, I was referring to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book, The Seven Goswami. Yeah. So many years back, I remember this was around the time when I was still a teenager, and then I remember one time there was one congregation devotee in our society of devotees in here, Radha Temple is Conchopati. So that time, this boy who was also a teenager, he had his father, his mother, and his sister as well. So what happened is the father had to undergo a heart surgery. So it was a very difficult thing because heart surgery, anything can happen. Those were the days where heart surgery was not such a normal thing. Nowadays, it's very normal to do heart surgery. So, finance part, all those parts. So, what happened is this devotee, this young boy, around 17 age, his name was, I forgot his name. So, he was like, he was running around and he saw that all the devotees came and helped the boy so much. The very hospital where the boy, his father was admitted, and father was also a devotee, but also was initiated by the devotees came together to Prashadam, and 10, 15 days stayed in hospital. Everyone came to give Prashadam. And when the time came for operation, suddenly the finance had to come. So the father had money in the bank, but now to go to my bank and remove the money that time. So the devotees came and bought all the money and immediately paid the doctors. Everything was so fabulously done. So this devotee was so impressed, this boy was so impressed by this whole culture of, kind of, helping each other. The whole community came to help, that this boy was spontaneously decided to write a letter to his Guru Maharaj. She wrote a letter. So he started writing it. The boy told me, he wrote a letter. He was thinking how much to write. So he decided, let me write all the devotees who helped my father. So he went on to write 10 page. That time there was no email. 10-page letter he wrote to his spiritual master. And his spiritual master then wrote 2 lines back. Thank you for your appreciation of the Vaishnava community. That's it. So the boy was very happy that his Guru Maharaj has read the letter. But the Guru, the spiritual master of this boy, he kept the letter with him. And wherever he traveled all over the world, he took the letter and showed to all the devotees. Said, this is called as, this is what Srila Prabhupada has designed our ISKCON community for. So this young boy, he has written all his appreciation for devotees. Why? Because he has seen from his own eyes how in times of need the devotees came out and helped him and his family. So this boy will never forget throughout his life what the community has given him, and he will always remain in the community to give back to the community because what he has received. And Maharaj said, this is the example which Srila Prabhupada has designed ISKCON for, to create a community of devotees, to help. One person is lacking something, others come and help that person to overcome the lackness or the vacuum in his place. There is another devotee who has a problem in this particular facet of his life. The other devotees who do not have the problem, they come and help him. And this way, by helping each other, we overcome all the problems in our lives. So therefore, we need a healthy relationship among devotees. And we need to, more number of devotees we have in our life, more secure is our Krishna consciousness. More happy we'll become because we'll always have someone to fall back upon and depend upon and take shelter. So that is the process of Krishna consciousness. It's very difficult to be 100% pure, 100% perfect balance. But even if you're not perfect balance, at least you have facility of devotees who help us to maintain the balance. And whenever we struggle and go off balance, they'll bring us back to the balance. So that is what the community of Krishna conscious devotees is all about. That is the purpose of community of devotees. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry I gave a very long answer.
No, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That was wonderful question and answer session. Thank you very so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Is anybody else who have questions or comments for Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ji, very inspiring class and especially question and Prabhu. Hare Hare Gauranga, Dandavat Pranam for your sincere seva. Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev, Sri Radha Gopinath ki jai.
If nobody have any questions, we can end the call here.
Thank you.
Thank you very so much again, Prabhuji. her very enlightening class today. And we are very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji, and we look forward for your association again in future, Prabhuji. If nobody have any questions, we can end the call here.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace
Jai.
Baldev Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Beautiful
Hare
class.
Krishna.